The Pacers versus the Wizards. Surprise, surprise, the Wizards are in the second round of the NBA playoffs. I don't think anyone would have predicted that happening. So let's get right into it. Nadine, give me a prediction. Before you knew that the Wizards could steal a game, what did you have the series going down as?
I still think that the Pacers will pull it off.
Yep.
And I just think when it comes to the Wizards, like, they need John Wall to show up, and he hasn't shown up. So I'm going to call him John Small from now on.
Shots fired.
No, he hasn't shown up. He's only scored 19 points in the past 2 games. So it's kind of like he has to show up.
What do you feel about me? I don't think I've ever scored 19 points in 2 games.
He has to show up. He has to show up. So if he doesn't do it, then it's going to be the Pacers. So.
Marlon, your expectations for this series?
I have to see how Roy Hibbert plays next game.
Okay, boom. So here, let me stop you there. After game 2, is Roy Hibbert back?
To me, not yet. Like he went through his whole little Anthony Bennett syndrome. Like
Whoa,
for
this is
the
the
3
Canadian
games.
couch you're on here, you know.
What? No, I'm just saying in regards to the 0.0 rebounds for like 2 or 3 games, whatever he had. He had his little slump. He got out of it last night. You can see him smiling and whatnot.
Finally.
He's clearly happy that he's scoring baskets.
Okay, so, but the way they got him his buckets was they were feeding him all night. As you see Gortat just lay the law down there, but they were finding Roy Hibbert consistently. Can the Pacers do that and still keep to their identity, Dan? Can they look for Roy Hibbert but still be the traditional Pacers?
Well, first of all, he had 1 good game.
Yes,
And
so no, he's not back.
I don't know if that is going to continue as the series goes along, because if you look at the track record in these playoffs, he's been weak. And yes, they gave him the ball and it worked last night. I don't know if that can continue, because Washington's going to make their adjustments as well. And they have some big men who can play, Gortat and Nene.
I want to touch on that. Okay, we always talk about every year, like, you know, good big men combos and how that's important to play that good high-low game. Every year it's usually Memphis. We're saying that's the best front court in the playoffs right now. Does the Wizards have the best front court, Nadine, in the playoffs right now with Gortat and Nene balling out of control?
I don't think their front court's better than OKC.
OKC.
But even though they're playing
Serge Ibaka and Kendrick Perkins?
Yes, they are. Look how they're containing Blake Griffin.
I don't think they're better than Blake Griffin and DeAndre.
Okay, Tommy, look at the numbers these two are putting up.
Look how they're containing
17
them.
a game for Nene. You're getting double-digit rebounds from Gortat, and you're comparing them to KP, who you can give him the ball once a game, probably in the first quarter, and Serge Ibaka, who's supposed to be a third player, really like a 6 or 7.
You're looking at the stats, and I think you have to take defense into consideration.
Okay.
And Nadine has a point. The Thunder are relying on their big men to stop the Clippers' big men. And if they can stop the Clippers' big men, then LA doesn't have a chance to win the series. But I still think you'd have to take Blake and DeAndre as the top front court. Although what Washington has, that's very dangerous.
The only reason it's dangerous right now is because Nene's hitting his jumpers. Like, he's hitting those mid-ranges from the baseline. And, like, that when he's hitting those and he extends you out that far, it's dangerous.
Okay, so let's get into another subject now. Everyone knows that there's some drama happening in Indiana in between their superstars, of course, George Hill, Paul George, Roy Hibbert. So in between game 1 and game 2, and I think this is a really tremendously bad idea, they went fishing. Now, if you watch TNT, you know that fishing is a bad thing in the playoffs. So these two gentlemen go fishing, and of course, Paul George tweets, "These rumors have got to stop. It's getting old, and now and I can't believe all you believe them, or all of you who believe them are ignorant, whatever. I don't really care." I don't think he should be tweeting and acknowledging this. I don't think they should be going fishing during the playoffs. Does anyone else have a problem with going fishing and acknowledging to the media that there is some kind of
They
issue?
should go fishing every day now. Run them the ball game.
They may be going fishing every day.
It worked. Now maybe they'll tweet out that they went bowling yesterday. I don't know.
Different at game night every night.
Whatever, they won the game.
My only problem was the size of the fish. That it was just, if you're Roy Hibbert, you gotta be holding up like a 17-foot trout or something like that. That's crazy.
Well, listen, Roy, that fish was about as big as.
He was like, all right, cool.
But I mean, are you buying the fact that they're cool? Because I mean, they're going out of their way to even state it.
I think it's an insecurity thing. I think they're cool to each other, but I think there's something deeper within each of them that they're not really saying to even each other.
Yeah.
And so they put on a front like, oh yeah, let's go fishing, let's show the world that we're cool, blah, blah. Like when really all you had to do was tweet, we're fine. It's 2014.
Or do nothing.
Or do nothing at all and just play and win the game.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
win the
my
game.
concern is, dude, you're acknowledging the wrong stuff. You remember what we saw with the Raptors? They hunkered in, they bunkered down, they shut themselves off from the outside world. I would like to see this Pacers team do that. And because they're not doing that, that spells trouble for me. Listen, still more to break down. on the Hangout. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn guys that play basketball that I'm not going to acknowledge, despite the fact that I came here from Brooklyn. Hangout! Coming up after the break, still more. Marlon Palmer at YouTube me. Holla.